Something moved beneath the Congo jungle canopy. Not an animal, not a shadow, just seconds of drone footage and no explanation. These are real clips captured in one of the most remote jungles on Earth. Strange shapes, unnatural movements, moments that shouldn't exist. Each video has been analyzed, debated, and left unresolved. Some have logical theories, others don't. We'll begin with the least disturbing encounter, and slowly descend into footage that becomes harder to explain. Stay until the end, because the final clip is the one experts refuse to comment on. And once you see it, you'll understand why. Number 15. A drone captured something almost no one on Earth has ever seen with their own eyes. Off the coast of Australia, a completely albino humpback whale was filmed swimming just beneath the surface. Not a reflection, not color distortion, a real animal, pure white. Experts say sightings like this are among the rarest marine events ever documented. Its pale skin reflected the sunlight, creating a scene that looked unreal, almost staged, yet it wasn't. There were no edits, no filters, just raw drone footage of a genetic anomaly moving freely through the ocean. Moments like this remind us that the sea still hides secrets we barely understand, and sometimes they rise to the surface without warning. Number 14. A drone recorded something deeply unsettling inside a dense forest. A massive tree can be seen moving slowly from side to side, not swaying with the wind, not bending naturally. The movement appears deliberate, as if something beneath the ground is pushing it. What makes this footage disturbing is the scale. The tree is large, heavy, too heavy to be moved without immense force. No machinery is visible, no landslide, no animals large enough to explain it. Experts who reviewed the clip couldn't calculate what kind of strength would be required, only that whatever caused it would have to be far stronger than anything normally found there. The drone keeps its distance, the tree keeps moving, and the footage ends without answers. Number 13. Near the coastline, a drone captured a scene that most people never realize is happening around them. From above, a massive school of fish is suddenly surrounded. Sharks close in from below. Seabirds dive relentlessly from the sky. It's a full hunting system, unfolding in perfect coordination. What makes this footage unsettling is the distance. This feeding frenzy is happening just meters away from people in the water, unseen from the surface. The fish compress tighter and tighter, forming a living sphere known as a bait ball. Predators take turns attacking. No chaos, no panic, just precision. From the ground, it looks calm. From the air, it's survival at its most brutal. The drone reveals a hidden reality, one that exists whether humans notice it or not. Number 12. From above the Amazon jungle, a drone unintentionally revealed something that was never meant to be seen. The footage shows a group of Colombian soldiers moving through dense jungle terrain. No announcement, no context. Then everything changes. The unit suddenly reacts. Weapons raised, positions taken. They're being ambushed by an unknown presence. Moments later, the drone loses stability and crashes toward the ground. As it falls, the camera records soldiers in close-up, preparing for combat. Faces tense, movements rushed. What makes this clip disturbing is what came after. There are no official reports of a firefight in that area. No records of casualties, no acknowledgement that any squad was even operating there. The video ends abruptly. The mission remains unexplained, and whatever triggered the ambush was never identified. Number 11. In the early hours of the morning, a quiet town in Colombia was shaken awake by terror. Over Jacari, in Norte de Santander, a drone loaded with explosives suddenly lost control mid-flight. Seconds later, it detonated in the air. The device was reportedly operated by members of the 33rd Front of FARC dissidents. According to later statements, the operators made a technical error and were unable to regain control. The explosion was powerful. Windows rattled, Residents ran outside, not knowing if another blast would follow. Miraculously, no civilians or animals were injured, but the fear lingered. The mobile column El Negro Eliezer Gaitan later admitted responsibility, calling it a malfunction, an accident. Still, the footage exposes something far more disturbing: how easily modern technology can become a weapon. And it raises an uncomfortable question: how prepared are we to face threats like this before the next drone doesn't fail? Number 10. At dawn, Colombia woke up to one of its most devastating drone-related attacks. In a rural area between Amalfi and Aaneri, Antioquia, a Black Hawk helicopter of the National Police went down, not due to mechanical failure, not weather. According to initial reports, an explosive-laden drone was used to strike the aircraft during an operation to support ground units. The attack unfolded in two phases. First, gunfire and explosive projectiles targeted officers on the ground. When the helicopter descended to assist, the drone hit the tail rotor, sending the aircraft crashing. 6 officers were killed. 7 more were seriously injured. Rescue teams evacuated the survivors from the remote jungle terrain, rushing them to specialized hospitals. Authorities later attributed the attack to the 36th Front of FARC dissidents, warning that this method marks a dangerous escalation. This was no accident, it was precision, and it showed how drones have transformed from tools of observation into weapons capable of bringing down aircraft. Number 9. Deep inside the Peruvian jungle, a drone made a discovery no operator was prepared to see. At first, it looks like a body, a humanoid figure seated on the forest floor. It appears to be wearing what looks like a soldier's helmet, but something feels wrong. This is not a human corpse. Around it, strange reddish bone-like remains are scattered across the ground. The drone hovers closer. The figure doesn't collapse. It doesn't decay. Then, it moves, slow, subtle, enough to confirm the worst possibility. Whatever the drone is filming is not dead. No military unit reported missing personnel in that area. No archaeological explanation fits what's seen on camera. And no clear animal characteristics explain the posture, the helmet-like object, or the remains. The footage ends shortly after the movement. No follow-up, no answers. Just the lingering question of what was sitting there, waiting. Number 8. Hunters launched a thermal drone over a forest clearing, expecting to track deer. What appeared on the screen didn't match any known animal. The thermal silhouette is tall, broad, with massive, sharply defined hands that don't move like paws. As the drone follows, more details emerge. A long, dense mass of hair trailing behind the figure. Its gait is slow, deliberate, almost threatening. Nearby deer react immediately. They scatter, fleeing in multiple directions, as if sensing danger before it gets closer. Thermal cameras don't capture color or texture. They capture heat and movement. And this shape doesn't fit bears, primates, or any documented wildlife from the region. The figure crosses the clearing without haste. It doesn't acknowledge the drone. It doesn't run. The hunters stop recording shortly after. No official explanation followed, only thermal data and a shape that shouldn't exist in those woods. Number 7. In the war in Ukraine, a drone earned a name that reflects how it operates. They call it the Vampire. It appears only at night. This drone is designed to hunt trenches. Flying high from forested areas, it releases anti-tank mines and mortar grenades with devastating precision. Most attacks happen during the early hours of the morning, or during evacuations, when movement is detected on the ground. Its altitude makes it hard to hear, harder to intercept. By the time soldiers realize it's there, the payload is already falling. What makes this drone especially terrifying is its persistence. It doesn't rush, it waits. Thermal sensors guide it through darkness, turning night into an advantage rather than a limitation. This isn't surveillance, it's systematic clearing, a machine that transformed the dark into a weapon and earned its nickname for a reason. Number 6. Calm water. No waves, no movement. A drone advances slowly over the surface. At first, there's nothing unusual. Then, just beneath the water, a pale humanoid shape begins to move. Its body twists unnaturally, as if adjusting to the drone above. For a brief moment, something else becomes visible. An extension, something resembling a tail. The figure doesn't surface completely. It doesn't dive away either. It simply moves, lingering just long enough to be seen. No location is confirmed, no second angle exists, and no explanation has ever been officially accepted. Some say it's a swimmer distorted by water and light. Others insist the proportions don't match any human body. The clip ends abruptly. No follow-up, no context, just a few silent seconds, and the unsettling feeling that whatever was there knew it was being watched. Number 5. A military drone was flying over a mountainous forest when it captured something it wasn't searching for. Hidden between trees and thick brush, a barely perceptible figure appears. It doesn't run, it doesn't react. The shape remains completely still, positioned as if trying to blend into its surroundings. From above, its proportions look wrong, too slender, too upright. Some viewers describe it as alien-like, not because of detail, but because of posture, the way it hides, the way it waits. What makes this footage disturbing is the silence that followed. There was no official report, no acknowledgement, no follow-up mission tied to the sighting. It's possible the operators didn't even notice it in real time. Only later, frame by frame, does the figure become visible. The drone continues its route, the figure stays behind, and whatever was hiding in that forest was never officially recorded as being there at all. Number 4. A drone flying low over an old cemetery captured something that didn't belong there. Walking between the tombs, a tall humanoid figure moves slowly through the graveyard. Its silhouette resembles a man fused with a tree. Thin limbs, rigid posture, unnatural proportions. The drone follows from behind, not too far, close enough to track its steps among the graves. Witnesses estimate the figure stood over 2 meters tall. It doesn't run, it doesn't react to the drone. Instead, it keeps walking forward, straight into the thick fog covering the area. As the mist grows denser, the shape begins to dissolve, first the legs, then the torso, until nothing remains but headstones and silence. No costumes were reported, no people were present in the cemetery at that hour, and no explanation was ever given for what the drone recorded. The footage ends with empty graves, and the feeling that something walked through them, and simply kept going. Number 3. Hunters deployed a thermal drone over a clearing during a night operation. At first glance, the shapes on the screen look like insects, large, clustered, still. Then the drone zooms in. These are not animals. They have elongated legs, bodies shaped like insects, but with a disturbingly human-like structure. Each figure appears to have a large cavity in the upper torso, and a head that resembles a rat-like face, tilted toward the drone. There are 3 of them. They're positioned on a tree, elevated above the ground, not moving, watching. Thermal imaging doesn't lie about presence. It shows heat, posture, and spacing, and nothing in known wildlife matches this configuration. The hunters stop advancing, the drone holds position, the figures remain motionless, the clip ends without confrontation, without sound. Leaving only one impression, whatever those things were, they were observing the operation long before they were detected. Number 2. A thermal drone captured a moment that still has no explanation. 2 people are seen running through a forest at night. Their heat signatures are clear, panicked, moving fast. Then something else appears. Behind them, a massive figure, nearly 6 meters tall, emerges on the thermal feed. It doesn't crawl. It moves upright, using what look like feet and legs, not paws. The stride is long, efficient, closing the distance. Thermal cameras don't exaggerate size. They show scale through heat and proportion. And this shape is far larger than any known animal in that region. The drone operator tries to keep both the runners and the figure in frame, but the forest interferes. Trees block the signal, the image breaks. The footage cuts off shortly after. No follow-up video, no official report, no confirmation of what happened to the two people. Just one final frame. And the terrifying implication that whatever was chasing them didn't need to run. Number 1. A thermal drone recorded something even more disturbing than the previous case. A man through the forest. Both heat signatures are clear, one fleeing, one closing in. They reach a river, the man crosses first. The creature follows, leaving brief flashes of heat with each step, visible where its feet touch the ground. Its chest appears unusually broad. Its movement is controlled, purposeful. Moments later, both figures vanish into dense trees. Then, barely visible through a narrow gap in the foliage, they appear again. Only partially. What happens next is hard to watch. There are sudden, violent movements. Then, stillness. Neither figure continues running. The drone hovers, the forest blocks the view, and the thermal signatures fade. The clip ends without confirmation, but the implication is unavoidable. It doesn't look like an escape. It looks like the moment the chase ended.